Welcome to the first video of the 5 video series. Today I'll be explaining 5 different questions from case A, which is Ashwin and Sumedha. This is from the old curriculum of the FPSB final module, CFP final module, I'm sorry, the Advanced Financial Planning. So now before I jump right into the video and start the questions and solving live those questions also, so I want to tell you that I'm no expert in solving all these questions. In fact, I cleared the final exam only in March 2020, but I will try my best. Let's start. I'll also want you to open side by side this case study, which is the PDF file which you can download from the FPSB website, and also Open Office. And to be frank, that I'll be solving all these questions in Open Office and not be using financial calculator. Okay, so let's start. So the first question is, Ashwin wants to achieve the children education goal for undergraduate and postgraduate program through monthly investment. Ashwin and his financial planner made consensus to use existing equity share portfolio funds and bifurcate it for each child equally and continue to invest in equity share portfolio till their respective age of 15 years. And thereafter transfer the fund to low maturity debt scheme with yield of 6.5%. So what would be the monthly investment amount till Pratik's 15 years of age? Okay, so we'll be we have to find out the future value of undergraduate and postgraduate program, which I think in the case they have given a consolidated amount, and then we have to discount it till their 15 years of age. So let's start. Let's see what is there in the case study. So Pratik is, as you can see, 4 years old, and Aslia is 1 year old, right? So let's go and see the goal. So this is the goal, the first goal, to provide for higher education of Pratik and Aslia. The expenses at current cost required for each child for 4 years, rupees 8 lakhs at their respective age of 18 and 3 lakhs per annum for 3 subsequent years, and the cost escalation is 8% per annum. Okay, so quickly I'll be writing the cost escalation, that is 8%. So for first year the cost will be 8 lakhs at the age of 18. The first year cost is 8 lakhs, right? And subsequent 3 years cost is 3 lakhs. Cool. Now so we have to make a chart where I'll write Pratik's age, and here is the future value. Now this can be as a reference point. If you have a different way of doing things, you can just continue doing this. You don't have to follow me blindly. So I'm just showing you this works best for me actually. So he's 4 years old, and starting with 4, so we'll take it down till 18. Right? Now as you can see, they will start their education at 18, right? But they will also have subsequent 3 years of college education. So it's not ending at 18, so it will end at 21. So if you can count it as 18 is the first year, 19 is second, 20 is the third, and 21st is the fourth year, right? So 21st is the, and beside that I will also write Aslia's age and her requirements. Okay. Okay. So at 18 years of age of Pratik, how much this 8 lakhs will become, right? So we have to find the future value. Now OpenOffice works a little bit differently than Excel. So you have to, if you're not comfortable in using Excel Office, I don't recommend you. You can try actually OpenOffice because it's a spreadsheet-based software, and while making a financial plan, I mean, realistically speaking, you have to use a spreadsheet, and financial and calculator does not always work very well. There is. So we have this rate of 8%. The NPAR will be, so we need till 18 years, at 18 years of age, how much will be the future value, right? So current age is 4, and the year which we'll be finding out is 18. So 18 minus 4 is the NPAR. Now, as you can see, this we have to use a semicolon to to jump between the sections in the formula instead of comma, which is used in Excel. So we have the PV, which is, how much is the PV? Yeah, 8 lakhs. So we included minus also. So this is 23,49,554. Okay. Now similarly, we have to find out what will be the cost at 19 years of age, 20 and 21 also, right? So here what we can do is we can just make this rate of or cost escalation absolute by adding dollars. And now here in OpenOffice, F4 doesn't work like in Excel, where you just have to select the whole cell and click on click on F4 and it will be absolute. But I've checked that it doesn't work. It's okay. We can put this also as 4, right? Now we just have to copy this formula and paste this formula. I'll tell you why copy and pasting for the first time, and I can drag it. So this PV will be different, right? For the next subsequent years, it is 3 lakhs only. So what you can do is step minus 3 lakhs. I hope you did understand. So what I did is that I just kept everything else same. So this 18 will become 19 years. So the next year it will be 19 years, and the starting at, of course, it will be 4 only, right? Now we can drag it to 20. So this is okay. Let's type in the formula. 19 minus 4. This, because this, and so we have to make this absolute. Okay, and this one also needs to be absolute, right? Now you can drag it, and there it is. Okay. So similarly for Ashley is now 1 year old, and we have to drag it till what age? Yeah, 21. Why 21? Because 18 is the starting and then 3 subsequent years. Cool. So it's a similar formula, but it's just that her age is now 1. Right? So cost escalation remains the same. So it will be 18 minus 1. And PMT is 0. PV is what at 18 years of age? It's 8 lakhs. Right? And enter. Whenever you see this hash, you just have to double click at this and it will expand. Okay. So let's type in the second formula also. We'll make it absolute letter. So the year info will be 19 minus 1. Always keep put formulas for this rather than putting 19 minus 1. Even if you need to do a audit trail, you will know what is the mistake, or if you have to change the cell values, you will know that what got changed. It's the 3 lakhs. So let's make this all absolute pretty quickly. We should be good to go. Sorry. Yeah, sounds good. Now we got the future value of all the costs, right? So this 8 lakhs and 3 lakhs I didn't mention. These are the present costs, right? As you can see, 8 lakhs and 3 lakhs in present times. So what we will do next is we just read this line again. I'll just read this line. Ashwin and his financial planner made consensus to use existing equity share portfolio funds and bifurcate it for each child equally and continue to invest in equity share portfolio till at respective age of 15 years. So this is very important. Respective age of 15 years only. Till that age of each of the child, he will stop investing. Okay. So what we can do here, we can find out the cost of all these expenses and discount it till 15 years, right? Because that is the age where he will stop doing further investment. So the monthly SIPs which he will do is till 15 years for both of their age. It's not only so Pratik is elder than Asliya, so it's not that it will stop at Pratik's age at 15. That means Asliya will be 12. It's not like that. So Pratik's investment will continue till 15, and so will Asliya's also. So I'll just highlight it so that it's better. So this is the age that Ashwin will invest. Excuse me. So now cost at age 15, if this for Pratik, right? So what we need to do here is we already know that, and thereafter transfer the funds. It's saying and thereafter transfer the funds to low maturity debt scheme with yield of 6.5%. So basically it means that after 15 till 18 or till 21, yeah, it's till 21, the total fund which he has accumulated at 15 years of age, he will be transferring it to a low maturity debt scheme. From where? From equity share portfolio. So in that he will be earning 6.5% of return. So we know the discounting rate, right? So the discounting rate is what? 0.065. So I use this 0.065 for my own comfortability. You can also use 6.5%. It means the same. For formula purpose, I do that directly, so we don't have to go and type in percentage. So at what we can do a step-by-step process. Is that at 18 years, if we take the PV of at 18 years, first we will take that PV till 15 years and then the subsequent ones, right? So type in PV, hit enter, then type in 0.065, right? And what will be the N par? N par will be 18. That's the time, that's the age where he will start his education. Yeah, and this is the discounting we are doing. There will be no PMT FP. This is the FP amount. So 90,45,000. For the next of this, what to do for the next of the years? What we can do is this is already absolute value. What we can do is we can make this 15 years, which is A18, make this absolute. So that is the age where we want all the values of 18, 19, 20, 21 to go to 15. So we have to make that value absolute, and then do nothing, is just drag the value till 3 columns, I guess, right? Yeah. So we got all this value at 15 years of age. So we can do a summation. So at this point of time, we couldn't do a summation because all these are at different time frames. But here, they are all at the same time frame, which is Pratik's age of 15 years old. So we can do a summation. Right? So this is at 15 years old. It's the same for Asliya. So let's type in the first formula, which is we are finding out PV. Right, hit enter. There's the same discounting rate, which is 0.065 semicolon, her age of 18 and 15. So 18 minus 15 will be the time frame. That 3 years we have to discount it for. We can directly type in 3, but it's better that you can follow a audit trail so that you can come back anytime. So this is the PV, not the PMT. And now we just have to absolute it, the C21, which is the 15, and our job is done to get all the PV. Just have to copy and paste. So what we found out is the cost at, so we can do this here. So this is the cost at 15 years average for both of them. Now what we have to do, what it's required. So what would be the monthly investment amount till Pratik's 15 years of age? Now, it's already been mentioned that the investment will stop at 15 years of age for each of this child. Okay. So Pratik's 15 years and then Asliya's 15 years. So so we have to find out separate SIP amounts, which is monthly investment amounts for both of this, and add it till that would be the same till 15 years of age of Pratik's, but for the next 3 years till Asliya, when Asliya hits 15, it will be only Asliya's monthly investment for which Ashwin has to incur, right? Are you getting my point? So 15 is for the respective ages where the investment will stop. So when Pratik age is 15, Asliya's age will be only 12, right? So Asliya's will not stop at 12 years of age. Asliya's will go on till 15. So that means 3 more years, right? But it's asking what will be the total. It's not mentioned here, but it's implied that what will be the total monthly investment amount till Pratik's 15 years age. So let's find out monthly investment which is required for Pratik. Right? I'll just monthly investment MI for Pratik's. Right. So you have to always use these shortcuts of written which you can only understand and save also time during the exam. So here we need the rate, right? So here he will be investing in only equity share portfolio. So if we go back to the case study, in the case study it's already given what is the rate of return for equity and equity MF schemes. You have to take this value, which is 11%, right? That is per annum, and that is also you have to consider. You have to take in mind that that is effective in rate of interest. So effective rate for equity is 11%, right? So here you have to find out the nominal value. Nominal value of that's 11%, because we will be finding out the monthly investment, and this is per annum, right? So nominal value we have to find out for the right. This is mostly relevant for the SIPs and not for calculating EMIs. Please take a note of that. So this is 11%, and what will the per? Yes, so as we are finding out monthly, it will be 12. If it is quarterly, what will the rate? 4. Okay. So 10.48 is when you do a monthly rate. So this is also per annum, okay, but we still need the monthly rate. Simple. Now you can do divided by 12. Okay. So why we so that is the reason why we can't do for loan calculation. We can do this rate and divide it directly by 12 and we'll be getting the rate, but we can't do this for SIPs because this is effective rate. Okay. So so we'll need to find out the PMT, which is the formula for SIP calculation. What is the rate we find out? This is the rate and it's already a monthly rate. Alright, what will be the N par? Any idea? Yep, that is, so he'll be investing till 15 years of Pratik's age. Right, I'll just enter a bracket. 15, and what is his current age? It's 4. You could directly type in 11 years of investment in equity, but let's do 1 second. Yeah. this multiplied by 12 because we have to find out the monthly investment, and these are in years, right? 15 minus 4. Now we have the future values. It's not PV, it's future value. What is the future value? This is the future value at 15 years age. What would be the type? It's very important. Always have to type. The type for SIPs will always be 1. So that's starting immediately. Whether it's mentioned in the question or not, you have to always type 1. Okay, if there is otherwise mentioned in the questions, right? Okay. Okay, so the same monthly investment for Aslias also find out. So let's go. This is the rate, right? N per will be the same. No, actually it's not the same. This is 15 and her age is only 1, right? So put a bracket, and so Ashwin will be getting more time, at least 3 years more time, because Asliya is 3 years younger than Pratik. Hope you can see this column which I am editing. So there is no PV, there is only FV. The type is 1. Sorry, it has to be minus. I am expediting the process of calculating all this because I am assuming that you will know most of the process because we have already cleared all the 4 modules of CFP. So what is the total? This is the total amount which Ashwin needs to spend per annum. Correct. So I'll be sharing this entire file in the description below, so you can download it and check it yourself also. I'll be moving to the next question. So there's 5 questions and I'm in the second questions. So let's read it. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So Ashwin is thinking to move to new employer where he will be getting a 100% rise in remuneration. As per their bigger house goal, Ashwin will sell his existing house and replace it with bigger house 3 years hence. 3 years later. The municipal value ready reckoner rate increment is 5% per annum, and Ashwin is thinking to avail a new home loan for 20 years at 8% per annum of the amount of difference between new house goal and existing house sell value, and transfer existing loan to a new home loan. So Ashwin is asking his financial planner what will be the revised EMI he has to pay. Now you have noticed that I have deliberately kept the options out of the picture because sometimes what happens is in the questions itself the FPSB will be giving wrong options or which are slightly different from the actual answers. But if you know the concept very well, you'll be getting the right answers, I'm sure. Okay, let's start. So here he'll be buying a bigger house goal, right? So let's go to the case study and understand his goal. So you can see the 4th point. So a bigger house goal, a bigger house 3 years from now, valued at 1.4 crore today. Okay, so the current cost you already know of new house, right? That is 1.4 crore 40 lakhs. Fine. It's the current cost. When? Time 3 years. What's the rate? Rate is important because you have to find the rate. Now I have to mention that this rate is different. Okay, so this is the rate for the old house. So the so it means that the old house will have increment of 5% per annum, but not the new house. For the new house, the increment or the escalation, real estate appreciation is already given here in the case study. So you have to be very careful about this. So it's not clearly mentioned. That is the problem. So if you are thinking that where I get all these questions, I have outsourced it from various persons who have already given the exams. Some of them cleared the exam, some of them are still struggling to clear the final module. Okay, so we got appreciation is 6.5 for the new house. Repeating it, that's for the new house, right? So what will the future value? If we enter, we know the rate, we know the NPER, and PMT is 0. So you can just hit another semicolon, and the FP type is, you can leave it blank and hit enter. So it will be 1.69 CR. Now, for the old house, there is already a home amount, right? So here, we also have to find out the FV of the old house also, which is currently staying in. So old house value, right? So you'll get it in the case study. And see, yes, so 75 lakhs, and this is mentioned in lakhs, the cost of the house, right? It's current cost. So time is same, rate or same. I'll just copy paste, and future value is also, I can copy paste. Oh, right here, which I've mentioned, is rate is not 6.5%. Here, always you have to remember that this rate is already given, that the municipal value ready reckoner rate increment is 5%. Has not been clearly mentioned, but this is what it is. I just copied and pasted that formula from here, because all the linings cells are same. You can do to save a lot of time, but we have to make sure that these are placed, these are also placed. Good. Now what we have to do, we need so here it's saying that amount, so he will take a new home loan for 20 years at 8% per annum of the amount of difference of between new house value and existing sale value. So this is the new house value, and if he sells the existing house, he will get this value, right? So 3 years after, how much home loan he has to take is equals to the value of the new house after 3 years and the value of the proceeds, the sale proceeds of the old house. So this is the new home loan he has to take. Now, as I already said, that have you noticed that the first line, Ashwin is thinking to move to new employer where he will be getting 100% rise in remuneration. That is a redundant statement. Okay, so that has nothing to do with the solution. So and some of the questions it will always confuse you where you can use that statement, but it doesn't have anything to use. Okay, so what we have to find out is the current outstanding of the existing home loan now. So if we go back to the case study, you'll find out that this is the current outstanding at 2017, right? So home loan 2017 current outstanding, right, which is 15,40,000. Correct. So if you can see a 7 here also. That means there is a note which we have to read. Home loan of rupees 20 lakh taken on 1st November 2011 to acquire a house of something valued at 40 lakhs. Then loan details: fixed interest of 8% per annum, tenure of 15 years, first EMI paid on 1st of December 2011, loan shared in 60/40 ratio. It's not required here. So what are the things we need from here is amount of the original loan, which is, you can see, 20 lakhs. Right. You can see it here. Original loan 20 lakhs. Right. When it was taken, which is 1st November 2011, right? And what is the interest rate? Right, which is 8%, and the tenure of the home loan, which is 50 years. Right? Now what we can do, we can find out the EMI. So to find out the EMI, which formula we have to use? Yes, that is PMT. Now, unlike I've already told you, for SIPs you have to find out the nominal rate of the per annum return. But here in EMI calculation, loan calculation, you don't have to find out the nominal. You can directly divide it by 12 and find out the monthly estimated installment, equated. I'm sorry. Already know the N per, which is 15. Already know the PV. In this case, it will be PV, which is minus 20 lakhs. And you can leave it all things blank. You can just hit enter directly. Sorry, so this N per will be multiplied by 12. Right, so the EMI is 19,113. Right. Now what we have to find out is that how much time has already been gone. So, you know, this current date, right? This is the current date, not the current date when we are solving the case, the current date of the case study, which which is 1st April 2017. Write it down, 1st April 2017, and the date of the loan taken. Right? This is 01/11/2011. Right? Here, what we have to do, we have to find the months which passed by already. Why we need to find out this is because we need the current outstanding amount of the principal outstanding, amount. So for that we need the months which has already been passed. Year will not make sense because we already got the monthly EMI. EMI is always monthly, and that is the reason we need to find out the months. Here in OpenOffice there is a exclusive formula which is months, which is not available in in Excel. So you have to keep that in mind. Type will be 1 because we need to find out the calendar year and not the financial year. Okay, remember that. Sorry. So always use backspace rather than delete, because it will come with a pop-up. Whenever you don't see, I'll show you. If you see that there is a reference which is exactly the same in Excel, but you will not see in months, right? Don't worry about that because that's the formula. We didn't use it earlier. That's why it's not showing as a reference. You can just type months and type in first bracket. There's a parenthesis, and you have to type in the first date, semicolon, the end date, semicolon 1, which is for calendar year. Close the bracket and hit enter. Right? This is 65. I'm not sure what is going on. Can't be 65. There must be some problem with the dates. So let's do a manual calculation rather than relying only in the formula. You have to use your brains also, right? So 2011 to 17 is 6 years, right? So that is already 6 years multiplied by 12 months in 6 years. That means already it's 72, right? So it has to be, okay, let's, sorry, I keep on using delete. So let's check. I have already created it. I'll just check it for a second. 100. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is. Okay, yeah, now I got it. So so you have to find out the outstanding in the next 3 years. It can't be 1st April 2020. It can't be 1st April 2017. That's the loan case date is started. But so he will be taking the loan 3 years after, right? It's not at the same today, right? So it has to be after 3 years, which is 2020. Now if we do the formula, let's see what it shows, or else we'll type in 100 directly. Now you can see this 101, but it's actually 100. I'm not sure, but we'll check out later. So that's 100 months. from 1st November 2011 till 1st April 2020. Why 2020? I already explained that he'll be buying the house after 3 years from today, and today is 1st April 2017. Okay, so now what is the outstanding after 3 years, right? How to find that outstanding? Yes, you find by applying PV formula. The rate will be the same, 8%, right? Divided by 12. Now the tenure is 15 years. I'll explain it in a moment, what I'm typing. Okay. So what I typed, okay. So here what I did is, as you can see, the rate is the same, 8%, you know, and in NPAR what I did is, this is the tenure, 15 years multiplied by 12 to find out what is the exact amount of tenure in months and how much period has already been gone, right? 100 months already been gone, right? And we are finding the outstanding value for the which is accumulated for the next years, you know. So 15 multiplied by 12, that means 180 months, right? And then 100 months is already gone. So how much he has to pay for the rest of the 80 months is what we are finding. So that is the end part. The PMT is the EMI which he is currently giving and will be giving for the rest of the term also. So this is the current outstanding. Current means outstanding after 3 years. Now what it is asking, that Ashwin is asking what is the reversed EMI. Now we already got to know that. I'll just mark it 1 and 2, right? So this is the home loan he needs to take, and here it's also telling that you need to also consider what is the outstanding loan, and you have to, you know, of course you will be paying the existing home loan before taking the new home loan, right? So you know, the remaining, we can say the remaining amount of home loan is 50, you know, this is the new home loan, this is the current outstanding which he will be paying off. So this is the amount of loan he now requires, right? I mean, yeah, okay. And now we have to find out the EMI also. I'm sorry, so we have to add it. I'm extremely sorry. This is not minus, the basic things also. So why this is the new home loan he requires for the new property, and this is also the amount which is outstanding, which he also needs to pay off, right? So it can't be subtraction, it has to be addition, obviously. So this and this, we have to add it, and now we have to find out the EMI. So here it's mentioned for the new home loan, what would be the um, tenure, which is 20 years. You can see it here, and the rate of interest remains the same. So I'll type in tenure is 20 and 8%. Okay. Now what will the new EMI? For EMI, I've already told you to use the PMT formula. It's the rate divided by 12. NPO is 20 multiplied by 12. We find out monthly. PV is minus this. So this is the new EMI which he has to shell out. So okay, so let's move on to the next problem. I'll read it out. Let's assume that Ashwin will accumulate a retirement corpus of 1.5 crore at the age of 60 years through statutory investment in which he has already invested. For retirement purpose, Ashwin would require no change in his current lifestyle till his lifetime, and thereafter 50% of pre-retirement expenses till Sumedha's lifetime. Such corpus shall generate an inflation-linked monthly stream of income if invested in risk-free instruments. For the purpose, he wishes to utilize his existing balanced MF, of which 1/3 is redeemed at the end of a 16th and 26th year, and the amount redeemed is invested in debt MF along with monthly SIP of dash to accumulate the retirement corpus. So we need to find that dash, which is calculate the SIP amount. So let's go part by part. So we just have to read it first, of course, what is there in the case study about the retirement goal, right? So this is a third point. Retirement corpus at Ashwin's age of 60 to sustain the same lifestyle till the expected lifetime. So nothing extraordinary mentioned. So he just wants to retire at 60 and want to continue the same lifestyle, which is also mentioned in the problem, right? So now here, first what we can do it in 3 steps. One, we have to find out what is the future value of the expenses, right? Let's do that. So now in the first paragraph only, it's mentioned that the family's monthly household expenses are 70,000 per month, excluding EMI on loans and insurance premium. This is what we require exactly. So 70,000 is the current monthly is important household. I'm just typing age and expenses, okay, which is 70,000. Now what is his current age? Ashwin age is 34. It's mentioned in the first line itself. Ashwin's current age is 34. This is retirement age 60. What is the inflation? Now we have to find out that. We can go right in the button which is mentioned assumption. Under assumption, it's mentioned that inflation is 5% per annum. Inflation is 105. Good. Now we have to find out what will be the expenses at 60 years at the first year of his retirement. This is important. This is not the expenses which will stay constant for the rest of his retirement period, but this is the expenses at the age of 60 only. And then also we have to find out the what will be the expenses at 61, 62. We don't have to do it one by one, 61, 62, 63, 64. We have to find out, we'll do a retirement corpus, it's easy to find out that, right? So rate is this, right? In per, we know that he will be retiring at 16, but currently his already age is 34. So that gap of 26 years is what we need as NPER. There is no PMT. This is not a PMT. Please note that this is only a PV, where we are finding out the future value of how much will this 70,000 will become when he hits 60. Right? There will be no type. Leave it as blank. This is the amount. This is the monthly amount. This is monthly. Mention it, and we need to find out this annual amount also. Annual, right? Cool. Now read it again. Okay, so for retirement purpose, Ashwin would no change. That's what we find out. And thereafter 50% of pre-retirement expenses till Shumita's lifetime. Such corpus shall generate an inflation linked. So this is very important, that such corpus shall generate an inflation linked monthly stream. Now we also have to find out that what would be the expenses when Ashwin is not there, but Shumita will still be there, right? For those years, what would be the expenses? Because it's saying then thereafter 50% of pre-retirement expenses till Shumita's lifetime. 50%. Okay. So what is Shumita's age right now? Here it's mentioned that his wife Shumita is aged 31 years, right? So Sudeta's age 31. Now, so we also will need the life expectancy of both of these, right? Both of the people, right? So here's mentioned in life parameters. Ashwin's expected life is 80 and Shumita's expected life is 82. Let's write this here. Life expectancy Ashwin is 80, right? And Shumita is 82, right? As you can see that Shumita is younger by 3 years from Ashwin, right? Now let's, before going to this, let's find out what would be the corpus till Ashwin's life expectancy. That would be the second step. Right? So for that we have to, for the rate at which the retirement corpus we have to calculate, that rate is real rate of it. We can write RRR. So why RRR is required? So already might know while you are calculating, retirement corpus in retirement module, and that you have already learned that why RR is required. So I'll not be stressing that, but directly finding out what is the RRR. Right. So here's mentioned that after retirement, his corpus will generate an inflation-linked monthly stream of income if invest in risk-free instruments. I'm sorry. So let's write out first. So inflation will be same 5% and risk-free return side expected as 5.5%. Right. So from here we can find out the RRR. So I'll be using a formula. I'm not sure what formula you use. It can be directly embedded while you're finding out directly the retirement corpus, but for simplicity purpose, I will just show it here. So here you have to do 5.5 minus 5 divided by plus 5. The RRR. Okay, like I said, I will not explain why this formula. So I'm assuming that you already know it. Retirement corpus. Now we'll find. Okay. So PV of the RRR. Right? And then info will be, how much will be the info? His life expectancy, which is 80, minus his retirement age, which is 60, right? And what will be the PMT, which is the annual expenses, not the monthly expenses. Please remember, there is no SC, but the type will be 1, because the moment he is retiring at 60, he will expenses from the first month itself, right? So type will be beginning. So this is the amount he requires. This is only for Ashwin. So Ashwin and Sumedha, of course, but Sumedha will be living for more number of years, which we will calculate here, right? So what is the next step? Right. This is the second step. So this is just one part of the retirement corpus. I will just write first part. Right. I will just highlight it also. The second part is to find out what is the additional corpus that needs to be accumulated for Shmeta's extra lifetime. As I already told you, Shmeta's age is now 31. So when Ashwin is 80, Shmeta's age. What will be the Shmeta's age when Ashwin's age is 80, right? So as it's mentioned that Ashwin is 3 years elder than Shmeta. So when Ashwin is 80, Shmeta will be 3 years younger than Ashwin, right? That is 80 minus 3. 77, right? But you also noted that her life expectancy is also more, which is 82. So now for the additional retirement corpus, we have to find out how much time we have for for the years of additional ADDL corpus. Sorry, right? So it will be her life expectancy minus when Shumeta is 77. That is when Shumeta is 77. That is when Ashwin will pass away. Right. So we have to find out 5 more years of corpus where she will only withdraw or draw her expenses for like sustaining her lifestyle. So it is also mentioned here that she will only take 50% of pre-retirement expenses. Okay, so 50% of pre-retirement expenses is 50% of pre-retirement expenses. You can find out that we already found out that this is the annual expenses at 60 for both of them, and we have to find out the 50% of it. This is the pre-retirement expenses. It's 29,86,000, right? So this is the 50% of that, right? Now this is only at age 60 of Ashwin. Yeah. This is when Ashwin is 60. Right? But we have to find out the future value of this expense also, right? When Ashwin is 80, right? 20 years after that. So if we already know what is the inflation amount. This is the inflation. Or let's check this. Okay. This is M. So find out 8 minus 60, right? So when Ashwin is 80, Shunada is 77. There is no PMT, there is only PV, which is minus this amount, which is annual. This is the annual amount. Hope you got it. Now this is the amount of expenses which she will need when she is 77, right? When Shumeta is 77. So there will be inflation for the subsequent years also, right? RRR we already know, right? So now we have to find out the retirement. Okay, let's find additional. Let's write additional retirement. Just return corpus, right? Additional retirement corpus when Smedha is 77. Okay, that makes sense. So PV of this, the rate will be this RRR because the inflation remains the same, where the corpus will stay invested will be same, that is the same as risk-free return. So we'll take the same RRR. Now what will be the NPAR? So we already found out the NPAR, which is which is 5, right? And the PMT also we have found out, which is 39,62,000. This is PMT because you will need this per year, right? And the type will also be begin, that is 1. So this is the additional amount which is required when Sumita is 77. Okay, this is important. Now we have to also find out the PV. Okay, when Ashwin is 60. Ashwin is 60. What would be the PV? Right. I hope it's not
really complicated. If it is too much complicated, you can always go back to this spreadsheet and see the the audit trail and find out yourself also. So you'll find out the PV here will not use a rate RRR as a rate, because that will be only investments, right? That there is, we already took care of inflation amount. This will be only the risk-free rate. Okay. So it will be 80 Y. We are taking Ashwin's age at 18. So, and 16 is when he will be, or they will be retiring. And there is no PMT, there's only the future value, which is 1.96 CR. There is no type because we are finding a PV. The type is not required. This is the PV. So this, and this also marks the second part of the retirement corpus. Now total retirement corpus, I'll write it as RC. So this plus this is the total amount of retirement corpus which is required. Alright. Now comes the most important part, which is how this retirement corpus will be fulfilled. We already know that this much amount of money which is required, okay, but how to get to this amount of sum, right? So this is where the next part comes. For this purpose, and the problem, he wishes to utilize his existing balanced MF, of which 1/3 is redeemed at the end of 8th, 16th, 26th year, and the amount to redeem is invested into debt MF along with the monthly SIP in that debt MF. It's not mentioned, but it's implied. Okay. So let's find out that what is the current value of the balance. It's not to find out, it's already given in the case study. Sorry, you can see it here. So the problem is asking to use in the problem it's asking to use this balanced MF value, right, which is 3.28x. Right. Now, so it is saying that at the end of 8th, 16th and 26th year, it should be a and here, okay, no problem, that he will be redeeming 1/3 of it and putting that into debt MF. So what we can do here, we can make a chart, let's say balance, let's say, okay, let's say particular, let's not give any name, it's confusing, because there is a track name called balanced MF, and this is debt MF, right? Here we have to find out the value of this 3,28,000 after 8 years. This is the first time when he will be redeeming 1/3 from balanced MF and investing in debt MF, right? So value after 8 years in balanced MF, and what would be the balance of it. correct? So first we have to know what is the return which a balanced MF is earning, which is 9.5% per annum. Okay, let's write it for both of this. Let's create let's add a row and write the 9.5%, 5%, and what is that for debt MF, which is 7.5%. Right? Cool. Now we have to find the FV after 8 years. So this is the red. In part, we've already noted that value after 8 years means we have to mention it at 8. PMT, there is 0 PMT, but PV we already have as 3.28 lakhs. Okay? This is the current value. It's there in balanced MF. Enter. There will be no time. Okay. Now, after 8 years, he will be redeeming 1/3 into debt MF, right? So in balance, after 8 years, debt MF will have this much of balance, correct? Because he just redeemed it at the beginning of the year. Let's say at the beginning of the year, the balance, the opening balance will be in debt MF will be this amount. So and in balanced MF it will be this minus this. This is only at the beginning of the year. You haven't calculated the return for that year, right? Now we have to find out the value after 16 years. Why? Why? Because it already said that it will the next redemption will happen at 16th year. Okay. So the FV, the rate remains same. N per is not 16 here. N per is 8 because 16 minus 8. 16th year he wants the value, but 8 years has already been passed by. Right? There's 0 PMT, only there is balance which is 4,51,000. And this is the value. Now we also have to find out the the value of this debt MF after 8 years, right? Which is 16 minus 8. In that gap of 8 years, the debt MF will also earn 7.5% return. So if we of that 16 minus 8 is 0 PMT, the PV will be 2,25,000, right? This is the value after 16 years. Now, similarly, after 8 years, we found out the balance, and here we also will find out the balance, where this amount plus 1/3 of this amount will be also be redeemed. Remember, this is also the current amount. We can't ignore this. And this will be we can do a 2/3. 2/3 will be retaining in the balanced MF. Then when is the next redemption? It's 26th year. Okay. So value after 26 years. FV, same rate, and power will be 26 minus, yeah, got it, 16 years already gone by, 26 minus 16, PMT is 0, PV is this, and that's it. Now we have to find out the FE of this also. Every rate is this. N per is 26 minus 16. PV is this. That is, we have to find out the balance. Here, after 26 years, he will be redeeming the whole of it. Right? So, this one plus this one. Correct? Okay. I'll just quickly check. Cool. So now, so he has already accumulated in debt MF 30,15,000, right? And this is the total retirement corpus which he will need, right? So we have to find out the remaining corpus which he will need, right? So let's assume he has already accumulated. So you can see the first line also, how much he has already accumulated, which is 1.5 CR, and also 30 lakhs in debt MF. So let's write it down in statutory accumulation, which is 1.5 CR, and debt MF. So this is interesting because you can see this 26 years is also exactly matching with his retirement also. So what is Ashwin's current age, which is 34, and his retirement age is 60, which is exactly 26 years. So this is the value at age 60 of Ashwin's right, Ashwin's age of 60 now. So, and this is also the value which he will acquire at his retirement age only, right? So sum total, let's do total, right? Sorry, it's the total. So remaining corpus required, which is this total retirement corpus minus this, right? So 4.5 CL we have to accumulate through SIPs. Okay, this is the value which he needs to accumulate. The time he has is 26 years, which is from retirement, and which is the subtraction with from retirement to his current year, current age minus retirement. So retirement age is current age. The return rate which he will be managing is he will be investing only in debt MF, right? Which is 7.5%. Now what will be the SIP, right? So this 7.5% is is effective rate, we have to find out the nominal rate. Here, let's say nominal rate. Nominal. This, and n per y is 12, and what we will find out with this formula is also the annual nominal rate, but we have to find out the monthly nominal rate, which is this. So now we can find out easily the SIP, which is this rate. N per will be this multiplied by 12. There is no PV, there is only FV, which is minus this amount, and type always be begin for SIPs. So the answer is 49,567 rupees, which he has to maintain for 26 years to accumulate this amount of money. Let's quickly go to the next problem. Okay, assume that Ashwin invested in NFO of an equity-oriented mutual fund, that is a dividend reinvestment option, on 5th of July 2013. Rupees 10,000 he has invested. Okay, and fund declared maiden 20% dividend on dated 7th of September 2014 at NAV 14. Next dividend declared is 25% at NAV 15.5 dated 31st December 2015. For the dividend, 10% NAV of 13 on dated 31st December 2016, and present dated 1st of April 2017, which is the current date of the case study, at NAV 12.75. We have to calculate the CAGR of the investment. So we'll quickly write the date of, so we can create a table, to find it out, the CAGR. In that case, we also have to take note of the dividend which the company, the mutual fund is, which also the mutual fund is giving it to the customers. Okay, so this is the date. We'll find out. We'll need the date, need the value, we'll need the NAV, we'll need the units also, right? So the first date when he purchased the mutual fund in NFO is 05/07/2013. Right? How much he purchased? That is value, which is 10,000. Now always remember that when a mutual fund is declaring an NFO, it's mostly, in most cases, the NAV is 10 rupees. If it is mentioned otherwise that it's 100 rupees or 1000 rupees or 10,000 rupees, then you have to take that. But if it's not mentioned, take it as 10 rupees. So how much units he has got? Just 1,000 units, right? Now he has also received, the mutual fund also declared dividends. The first dividend is on 7th of September 2014, right? And the dividend is declared is 20%, right? So this 20% has to be calculated on what? 20% is always calculated. So while calculating dividends, you have also always have to take the NFO or the face value of the mutual fund when it was released at NFO rate. So we can also take it, we can also call it as NFO rate, which is 10 rupees, right? So this is how we find out. So we know that the value, but let's, for a simplicity purpose, so we understand this, that how much value it is, and the going forward it will be useful. So this is the value over which the dividend of 20% will be calculated. Understood? Great. So 2000 rupees he will be getting as dividend. At what NAV? It's mentioned here. It's 14 rupees. So how much units he will be getting? This is 2000 divided by 14. Now we can also make another column like balance units, because this will be 1000, right? Opening balance. Now this opening balance will be added by this also, right? 1142 is the new balance of his mutual fund after receiving the dividends also. So going forward, next dividend declared is 25%. You can see 25% at what date? 31st September 2015. Sorry, 31st December 2015. Now the new balance unit is not 1000, it is 1142, but we have to take the face value only. It's not 15.5, it's not 14, it's only 10, where we have to calculate the dividend. This is the tricky puzzle where I also made the mistake while in the exam, and most of the cases we made this mistake by taking the current NAV or the NAV of the previous date, but that is wrong. We have to take the NAV of the, not NAV of the NFO, you can say, or the face value of that mutual fund, right? So what I did is balance unit multiplied by the face value of the mutual fund multiplied by how much he got as dividend, 25%. Right? At what NAV? Which is 15.5. Right? Now we can do a copy paste. Right? So the copy paste, which basically means is this value of dividend divided by NAV. Right? What will be the balance amount? This 1142 plus 84. What is the next dividend? For the 10% dividend, the mutual fund declared on dated 31st December 2016. 31st December 2016. Right? How much dividend they declared? 10%. Right? So the balance units multiplied by face value multiplied by 10% dividend, and at what NAV, which is 13. Right? We're going to do a copy paste of the formula, and balance units will be 1327 plus 102. Right? Now there are no further dividends, and now what we have to do is to find out the current value, right? How to find out the current value? So current date is 01/04/2017, right? The balance unit is, you already know, this is the balance unit. You already know the NAV, which is 12.75, right? And this is the balanced units. Here, what we can do is just balanced units multiplied by NAV. That is the current value. This is the balance units, or the units you can also say, balance units, and this is the total current value. Now what is it saying? What is the CAGR on the investment? So for that we have to find out that how much amount he has already he has invested, right? So the first investment date is this, right? 05/07/2013. How much he invested? This 10,000. Why I am taking this as minus? Because that is the investment value, right? So, and this is the value he already got. So for the CAGR we have to calculate the XIRR. So you can't see that there is no difference. So in that case you have to type the opening bracket and then it will come. If you type in XIRR and hit enter, it will say like this. Okay. Open first bracket. These are the values, right? And it's also asked for dates. This. Hit enter. So this is the rate of return which you calculated. You can change it to percentage. So the answer is 17.39%. So coming to the last problem, this is the most easiest one. So as you can see that I've chosen a variety of sums from all this from retirement till education goal till to calculation of NAVs, and then we finally got into insurance. Okay, so let's read out the question. Ashwin's money back policy has a reversionary bonus of ₹30 per thousand and 10% loyalty bonus. The pure term plan with same term and sum assured is available in the market for ₹500 per lakh. Ashwin wants to know the risk adjusted return on the money back policy. Okay, let's go back to the case study and read his current or his existing insurance policy which he already has. This is the amount of insurance of which sum assured is 4 lakhs, right? So let's quickly write down the sum assured of his money back policy. This is the basic sum assured, right? And there is a note also. Let's read out the note. So Ashwin purchased the 20-year policy. So we know that there's a 20 years money back policy on 18th November 2010. Annual premium of which is 26,864. 20% of sum assured is payable on survival of each on expiry of 5th, 10th and 15th years, and 40% of sum assured payable with accrued bonuses on the survival of the term. So the total term is 20 years. So as it is a money back policy, so they'll be paying back 20% of the sum assured. Sum assured is 4 lakhs on each of 5th, 10th and 15th years, and the rest of the 40% will be payable on the 20th year, which is the end of the policy term, right? So before that we'll calculate that, but what the problem is saying is the money back policy is also reversionary bonus is also there, right, of ₹30 per thousand and 10% of loyalty bonus. So let's calculate the reversionary bonus. So remember that a reversionary bonus is always annually calculated. Annually distributed. So whenever you see that 30 rupees per thousand is mentioned, that means that annually it's 30 rupees per thousand. Okay. So how to calculate that? It's understand the formula, which is 30 multiplied by, so that is 30 per thousand of the sum assured. It's not mentioned, but it's implied that it's per thousand of the sum assured. So this is the sum assured, and we have to divide it by 1000 because it's mentioned that 30 per thousand. If it is per lakh, then we would have divided it by 1 lakh. But it's now per thousand. Okay. Mostly it's always mentioned as per thousand only in most of the cases. And what is the policy term of which we have noted down in here? Ashwin purchased a 20-year policy. So each of the 20 years, the total reversionary bonus he will receive is 2,40,000. What will be the loyalty bonus then? Loyalty bonus is 10% of the sum assured, right? This is sum assured, 10% of it. Now we have to calculate the return, right? For that, we have to give year by year how much premium he is spending, is giving to the money back policy, and also how much money back at what time frame he will be receiving the amount, right? So let's create a table. Let's mention it 1 until the end of the period, which is 20. 3, 4. This is 20. Done. So how much premium he is paying? 26,864 premium. Let's write it here. 26,864, right? 864. So whenever we are calculating the risk-adjusted return, we have to enter the premium as a minus figure. Why? Because he is paying out the premium and not receiving the premium. Okay. So let's keep it as a absolute figure because we'll be copying and pasting this. So when is the money back first money back scheduled to receive? It's on expiry of, this is very important, okay, on expiry of 5th year. Okay, so he has to keep on giving the premium for 5 years at least, right? So let's do a copy and paste. So till 5 years he has given the premium, and then he will receive the money back on the starting from 6th year, because it says that on expiry of 5th year he will receive the first money back, which is 20% of the sum assured. So let's do the calculation. 20% of sum assured is 20%. Okay, let's do this in bracket because in the 6th year also he'll be paying the premium, right? 20% multiplied by this sum assured, which is B4, minus, why minus? Because he'll be paying premium 26864, right? Understood? Because why this is not minus? Because he will be receiving this. Why this is minus? Because he will be paying it, right? Okay, so going forward to the 7th year, it's same premium. Till the 10th year, same premium. On expiry of the 10th year, he will be receiving the second money back. So which is, let's calculate that, which will be the same as this amount only. Why? Because that's only 20% of sum assured on each of 5th, 10th, 15th year he mentioned. This will be the same amount, right? It's 20% of the sum assured minus the premium paid. Let's do a copy and paste of this also till 15th year. On the expiry of 15th year, we'll be receiving another money back, which is the same as the earlier also. And then for 17, 18, 19, we'll be paying the premiums. On 20th year, that's the policy end term, he will also receive the 40% of sum assured. So this is a different calculation, right? We'll be receiving 40% of, let's do bracket, 40% multiplied by sum assured money back plus reversionary bonus, which it's mentioned that at the which is given at the end of the term, but it's calculated every year, okay, plus the loyalty bonus minus the premium paid, which is 26. Because at least he has to pay the premium till the end of the period only. It's not okay. Till 19th year he paid, and then last year he will just receive, and if he doesn't pay the last year premium, he may not receive the loyalty bonus or the reversionary bonus. There can be many complications, right? So this is the amount he will be receiving at the end of the maturity, which is 20 years. Okay. And then it will be, so now we'll calculate. So what needs to be calculated was the risk adjusted return. So here we have to calculate the IRR, right? Where the value of this, all this value has to be taken and into. So IRR is this amount. This is the answer, and note that here it's mentioned that the pure term plan with same term and sum assured is available in the market for ₹500 per lakh. That is a redundant statement. That is nowhere required in solving this problem. It's only asking the risk adjusted return on the money back policy, for which that statement is not, we are not comparing. If it's comparing, then we would have taken that information, but here it's not, we are not comparing that amount, that with the pure term policy. It's asking what is the return of the money back policy, right? So the answer will be 3.72%. So that marks the end of all these 5 questions, which I have, curated from many questions. Let me know if you have any other question which you are facing difficulty in solving those. You can email me. I will provide my email in the description. And so this is just the first video, and the next videos I will discuss another 5 questions from all the other cases, like case B, case C, case D and E. And yeah,
I hope you find this video helpful, and see you soon. Bye.